Okay, guys, this is the last video that I told you that I would do on the binder check for your binder check number 2. Remember, you are to get your binder together and then give this paper right here that you see to your parents along with your binder for them to do the binder check. That's why it says Dear Parents, Guardians. So if this is not completed by your parents in your parents' handwriting in pen, you will not receive credit for this binder check. Okay, so the first thing that I should see is this sheet right here that says binder check number 2. Should be totally completed by your parents. Okay, next on the list it says binder check number 1, table of contents, which is your first binder check, which should have been done by your parents back in April. It should be graded at this point. So if it's not graded, then you know that grade is a 0 and it stays. Okay, the next page on the list is the 7.3a. Let me try to rotate this for you. It looks like this. So you're warning about it saying Star Master. If you zoom in, it's going to say Star Master right down here at the bottom. This page should be graded. You did it as an exit ticket one day in class. I graded it and gave it back to you the very next day. So that's front and back. It's over decimal and fraction operations. Most of you made an A. Okay, next should be your Unit 9 test, which looks like this. I just passed those back in class last week and told you to do corrections on them. Remember, these corrections have to be turned in by Thursday. Okay, then you have your Unit 10 PA. So this is the test paper, which yours should be totally filled in, graded and passed back. And then you are also given this PA to practice in class. So you may have both of those. Okay, the reteach paper looks like this. We did half of it in class together. So if you need to see the part that we did together in class, I'm trying to get this focused so that you can see that. I'll rotate it for you. Let's just do this. All right, that's better. So we did that part in class. You can pause if you need to and get that written down. And then on the next page, which is the back, I did numbers 5 and I did number 7 for you. You were supposed to finish the other 4 problems. Okay, the next thing on the list is your multiple representations quiz, which looks like this. You either had quiz 1 or you had quiz 2. But they all basically look the same. So quiz 1 starts with negative 3/4 x. Quiz 2 starts with negative 1/4 x. This should be graded and in your binder. After that is your multiple representations warm-up, which I did the whole thing for you in class. It looks just like the quiz, except for it says warm-up. And that's the back side. Okay, next on the list is the 9.6 notes, which we did half to majority of the packet in class. So if you need to see the parts that I did with you in class, I did the whole entire first page. I did the whole entire second page, or back side of that. Get that on in here. I did most of the next page. You just had to finish up this last example. And then I did the first example on the back page. You have to do those 2. So you're supposed to have that totally completed at this point. We did this over a month ago. Okay, next on your list is the 9.6 homework sheet, which looks like this. At this point, it should be graded and passed back. And that's your back side. The next thing is your Roman numeral 2 practice, which is your linear equations. So this is what I did in class with you. And then you were supposed to finish the rest. Okay, next on your list is your Unit 3 7.4a sheet, which looks like this. And you've had these since the first binder check. The next 3 pages coming up. So that should be completed, graded, passed back. This one is your Unit 5. I did that part in class with you. And then you had to finish the last 3 sections, which is this, and this. That should be graded and passed back. And then you have the Unit 19, 7.7a, which you had to complete, turned in. It should be graded and passed back as well. At this point, the grades on these assignments are going to be used for extra credit. So if you have not already turned them in, you just missed that extra credit opportunity. I won't be grading any more of those. Okay, next is your warm-up for conversions. I just went over these problems today in class. So everybody should have this totally filled out and correct at this point. And the back side looks like this. Next is your review on shape, measure the center, and spread. Looks like this. There's your front, there's your back. Then next you have your Unit 16, which is 7.6G sheet. It's a packet, which is basically 2 pages stapled together. It looks like this. And it should be the small sheet, not the big one that you had on Binder Check 1. So these are your pages. And I did that for you in class. So I did that whole entire section right there for you in class. And you just had to finish up the rest. Okay, then you should have your Unit 32, which looks like this. I did this section for you in class. You just had to finish up the other 3 sections. It's just a front and back side paper. Okay, then you had Unit 33, which looks like this. I did the front for you. You just had to finish up the next few pages. It should be 2 pages stapled together. And then you had Unit 34, which looks like this. And that's the back side. Some of you turned those in, and I will be passing those back to you tomorrow on the 27th. Okay, then you had your probability packet, Unit 17, the one that says Introduction and Homework. And this is actually from Binder Check number 1. And then you also had another Unit 17 and 18 probability packet, which was from Binder Check number 1 as well. They should be completed. I did ask you to turn these in a while back. I was going to give extra credit on it. Next on your list is your Unit 14, 7.6e, which was a homework paper. Should be graded and passed back at this point. It's the front. Here's your back side. Next, you have the 7.6c and D, Unit 13, which I will be passing these back tomorrow because you were supposed to turn them in as an exit ticket, which some of you did, some of you didn't. So there's your front side, there's your back side. Okay, next we have probability packet number 2. Then you have probability packet number 3. Both of these packets should be graded and returned. Okay, after that you have your warm-up on simple and compound interest. This is the one from the 18th. We finished this, went over this in class. So you should have this exact same thing written on your paper. pause the video if you need to get a copy down. Remember, you are not to run copies of my papers that you see. You have to have it copied yourself. Okay, then on the back or a separate sheet of paper, we came in and the next day we did another warm-up over simple and compound interest. There were 2 problems on that as well. So that's what it should look like. Okay. Then you had your notes that we did most of it together in class on simple and compound interest. At the front. And the back, where I did these 2 problems for you. Okay, then you received your assignment for simple and compound interest, which only about 20 or so of you turned in altogether. I will be using this as extra credit. So if you haven't turned it in for extra credit at this point, you lost that opportunity. Now you need to get it completed for your binder check. Okay, next we went into integers. So we did this notes page in class together. You have a front and a back side. Then you got the practice B assignment, which I passed these back today in class. So you should have your integer sections graded. If you want extra credit, you can do this conversion section. You must justify all answers and show all work. And for those of you who don't have the parts that got cut off, remember this is 579 quarts. Number 5 should say, gosh, I believe it was cups. We're doing gallons to cups. No, pints. Sorry, it was gallons to pints. And then this last one, I believe I told you 26,000 kilometers. It should actually be, I think it was millimeters. So 26,000 millimeters on that one. Okay, then you had your integers homework assignment, which some of you got exempt from it. Paper should be in here saying exempt if you did. Okay, then we went into equations and inequalities. So we did these notes and examples in class. There's the front. There's the back. A little glare there. And then we did this warm up the next day in class. Make sure you pause the video if you don't have any of this copied on your own paper and copy down the work. There's the back. Then you had 2 assignments over equations and inequalities. One of them looked like this. You should have turned this in. You will be getting this paper back tomorrow in class. Tomorrow meaning Wednesday, May the 27th. And then you also had this assignment over equations and inequalities, which you will be getting back in class tomorrow, May the 27th. And then the last things you should have are the papers you received this past Friday. You have a warm-up over circumference, perimeter, and area that needs to be completed. There's your back side. You have your surface area warm-up, which we completed together in class. There's the back side. Sorry about the glare. They're in sheet protectors. Just pause it wherever you need to. And then the last thing should be your surface area packet, which you received on Friday. It's supposed to be finished by today. All right, guys, if there are any other questions, please talk to me about it in class. But this is everything that should be in your binder since binder check number 1. Remember, your final binder check is going to be done Thursday, Friday of this week, which will be done by me for a major grade. Your binder check number 2 is a daily grade, which should be completed by your parents. All right, see you later.